As in the top right-hand side, our blue Terran player from Team Liquid. This is Clem here in the WardiTV May Open Cup, $1,000 on the line. His quarterfinal opponent is the red Protoss in the bottom left from Storm, MaxPax. It should be a good one here early on in the day. Obviously still got semis and finals to come after this, so plenty of StarCraft 2 to come. As we get this up and running, Proby of MaxPax going to head out into the center. This is the El Clasico of European StarCraft 2, yeah. Yeah, I guess it kind of is. These guys have, MaxPax has definitely gotten the better of Clem as of late. It feels like Clem keeps getting like a 1-0 lead, but then can't really win out the series. Guess we'll see what happens. People always complain about new maps, but don't discuss them when they get new ones. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, I think it's easier to complain about things than to take part in discussion about things at the end of the day, and our community is definitely a pretty decent symbolization of that, but that's okay. If that's how it is, then that's how it is. Here's some cool results coming in just so we get ourselves going here on Royal Blood, just to keep you all up to date with the scores. So Bjorn's playing solo in the round of 8. Spirit's playing Ragnarok currently in game 3, I believe. And Wayne and Skillis are in the round of 8. Skillis beats Gumiho, Wayne beats Dark. So Wayne and Skillis, one of those two, will advance to the semis against the winner of this best of 3 as well. Let's see, Pro coming down, Wolfgate coming through, Command Center, Factory, Bunker, all coming up as well. SCV is on the way in from Clem. Just going to be seeing the Reaper dancing back away from this Zealot, and now going to dance back onto it. So Zealot going to take quite a bit of damage. It's going to get taken down. The Adept coming through, hits the Reaper once, hits the Reaper twice. Do we have a 3-time Reaper hit? No, Reaper is out of here. Ciao and see you later. Probably Council building up for MaxPax, and just seeing our Adept of MaxPax still wandering across to the upper right-hand side, going to be moving into the natural. In the next few moments, as a Bunker sits with a Marine inside, a couple extra Marines continue to come out as well. As the Reaper just pinging away at the Adept, so a little bit of damage, some shots going down. Adept is going to shade back into the middle of the map, make it 2 Adepts together now moving forward. MaxPax is going to follow this up with that Blink play, not really too surprising. Just going to be 3 gateways, so not the most aggressive we've seen from MaxPax, as this Adept gives itself up for 2 Marines and an SCV, although 1 Adept left and the SCV needs to get in the bunker. Doesn't get there, was a moment away. Here it comes down, little grenade. Adept going to get blasted up and just going to be seeing the Reaper actually now trying to get away to safety itself. Can it get to the bunker? No! It's going to cost you the Adept, though. I guess that is something. But Clem is completely blind. He's not picked up info at all this game, so he does not know what the follow is. Cycling around the right. Blink still coming through. Prism, Dark Shrine. All of this continuing to get set as Marauder Marine, Stim continues to produce for the moment. We'll see our barracks landing onto the tech lab, and a combat shields will start up there as well. So getting that combat shield up and running. Our Stalkers continue through. Cyclone gets a lock onto the Stalker there for a little bit longer as well. He's going to knock that down. Cyclone gets picked off, and just going to be seeing a few extra Stalkers warping in. So, I mean, we're ready to pressure, but there's a 3rd base dropping down, even a Dark Shrine quite far along. This is all about the, not necessarily just the Blink Stalkers here from MaxPax, there's definitely the follow-up aspect to this as well. as he was forced to micro a little bit there. Obviously had to pick up with the Prism a little and then even blink back in the end. Good defense from Clem, who is keeping an eye out for these Stalkers making a reappearance via the Prism. The last thing you want is the Stalkers snipping around the back here and just grabbing a whole bunch of kills without you really doing anything about it. So he's going to try and stay to that for the next couple moments. We have a few more SCVs. Going down again, 6 workers getting dropped. Okay, in the end, we do pretty good damage. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a 10-worker lead for MaxPax. I'd say that's pretty comfortable, all things considered. Heading into charge, third base coming up. And he's got the DTs to stop being annoying as well if he can get them into the base, which he can with the Prism. And Clem just didn't have a scan available, so he just instantly GG's. That was a very quick GG, honestly. I wasn't quite expecting him to just leave in that moment. I was just about to say about the DTs. Did he just drop mules or so? No energy. No energy. Well, energy in 6 seconds, but he's only going to be able to scan 1 DT. So it's just GG's. Man, MaxPax just so annoying. I just keep messing around in that game number 1. In the top left, our blue Terran from Team Liquid. This is Clem. Bottom right, red Protoss from Psystorm. This is MaxPax. Game 2 of our best of 3. All round of 8 matches are now set up. Hero takes on Ragnarok in the quarterfinals. Again, $50 earned for making round of 8 today, so congrats to Hero, Ragnarok, Beyond Stoller, Wayne, Skillis, MaxPax, and Clem for earning some prize money at the very least. And we will be having both semifinals played back-to-back, followed by our finals, so we do have a good few games still to come, guys. Lots of StarCraft action happening here in the WardiTV Monthly Open Cup. I've got one of these this week. We actually will probably have one of these next week as well, guys. We'll do one more, and then that will be a final chance for players to qualify into the WardiTV Spring Championship, which will start next week as well. So very fun stuff, very cool things going on. Probe, SCV, nibbling around the sides. Let's see, our cyber core is about halfway done here. Nexus just starting up. As the command center drops down, SCV and the probe do nibble at each other. Again, just getting that probe on the way. Just going to be seeing our factory and our bunker continue to build as well. CC still coming on down. SCVs are still producing. This probe is going to go chilling towards the upper right-hand side as well. So just hanging out. Gonna drop down a cheeky little pylon as well even. So get that into place. And yo, Akko SC2, thank you so much for the 21-month resub. I appreciate it. Now there is a gateway coming down on the other side of the map, so we're definitely going for this pressure. There's another gate coming through as well. And Dev's just going to start to shade through the middle of the map. Off and away we go. Gonna come through. And a couple of gates coming up. Twilight Council coming in. We do have ourselves the Hellion still just pulling around to the right hand side, and again the Adepts just moving up. Marines are about to finish as our Twilight Council is completing as well on the side of MaxPax. I think you'll get a full scout in. Obviously, so far, no damage taken. The bunker really helps just make sure that you're very secure here. Just don't let those Adepts in, because that's an easy way to have to deal with things that you didn't really want to have to deal with. Now, The Widow Mines aren't immediately in the medevac going across the other side. Widow Mine does not go off. As the Adepts come back over towards the main wall off there. Still seeing our Marines continue to push through and aim for his Adepts still. There is one of them. Here goes a second. Nope. As GCR bunker gets a single Marine inside. Gonna come drop down to the low ground, and these Stalkers continue to take some shots. Obviously, again, MaxPax staying very aggressive. Marines continue to push over the side here. Stalker goes down. Going to see another Stalker dropping down as well. That's 4 SCVs taken down throughout all of this. We continue forward. That's a Stalker that goes down as well. Damage just keeps being done. Now Raven coming up just over halfway done. You know, obviously, Blink's about to be done. It's a much later Blink than usual, but again, it feels as though MaxPax has done a pretty good job of keeping his opponent busy, at the very least in these early stages. Goes a long way. Stalker's going to pull across, gather in with the others. Raven's still up overhead, and a little bit of bio just patrolling around. The one Stalker will hold out to the far left-hand side. Pick and chip our way through this bunker. Bioforce coming through. Stalkers do get pushed back. Factory will take off, moving over the side as well. New barracks to take its place on that tech lab in the next couple of moments. We've got our Robobear coming in. The one thing that MaxPax might get kind of abused on a little bit is obviously his splash is kind of late. Robobear only just finishing now. There's 100% time in here where if Clem can get across the map, his army is so scary for MaxPax. Especially with the Raven, when you're going to go into this first Colossus. You know, that just doesn't exist as long as the Raven doesn't die to the Stalkers. So, this is a pretty big deal. These Stalkers, they can't go up. Well, okay, they can go up here. We're going to give up one Stalker to kill off the 2 mines. I was like, you can't go up here. There's 2 mines. Well, obviously, you could, I guess, insta-kill one. And I guess he likes that trade. 2 mines for 1 Stalker. Back to the center. Clem coming through, Biotank, and go pushing forwards. There's the Raven going down. Well, that makes MaxPax's defense at home so much easier than that initial catch. Clem's army supply is still terrifying, but it's much more manageable now for MaxPax without that Raven in play. I don't think you can afford Warpins to harass with. I think you've just got to set up at home. Currently, only 3 gateways. The extra 5 are in production, and Clem is fast approaching this other side of the map. Our Stalkers going to come through for a little bit of a pick-off, and we do have Clem going to come down, Probe going down, Pylon going to get cancelled here. MaxPax is down half the army supply. Those 5 extra gates are going to be warp gates in a moment. Charge is just about going to be on time. We have a couple of force fields available to slow Clem down, and that's exactly what MaxPax will do, dropping those into place. Clem's going to play around this position, which allows him to hit the frontline gateway. Medivacs reinforced are going to go down the left so that Clem can try and split the attention of MaxPax as well, and try and find success in that way as our bio comes in for a couple moments. Uh-oh. Well, I was a little bit worried about the Colossi there for a couple moments as we see our Medivacs unloading down the left-hand side. Bioforce will get reset. More Widow Mine shots, tanks, and some extra hits off, and we do just see this is a cleanup from MaxPax. But Clem's dropping in the main base, and he's attacking on the 3rd, so he's everywhere. And I think everywhere enough to actually take this game number 2 and to close this one out and put himself into a, well, that gateway. Depowering is going to be big if he gets the other pylon as well, especially, yes, he's going to put himself into game 3 here, I think, guys. The Colossi is starting to do some decent damage. It's starting to add up a little bit. We do push away the attack on the left. The attack in the main is going to get pushed away, although it costs you a Colossus, which isn't exactly ideal. You'd rather have kept that alive, obviously. Yeah, this is still absolutely not good for MaxPax. That was a lot of lost workers. And at this point, obviously, Clem as well can start to really deal with the follow-ups here. He can start to get some better answers to Colossi on the map and everything, and should just be looking pretty darn good for the future of this, as our bio is already kind of just pushing back the attempt to move across the map here from MaxPax. Well, Zealots are kind of holding on. We are killing a few SCVs on the other side. A little counterattack is finding something, so MaxPax keeps a little bit of love going for himself in this game number 2. Can he actually stay alive? I mean, he's going to push Clem back a little bit. I still don't really believe in this army, and there's a few reinforcements show up from Clem. He might just wrap onto this force, and I think he probably doesn't believe that MaxPax is still pushing forward. That's almost nonsensical, as somehow MaxPax didn't get punched for moving forward with this part of the force. This Colossus over here is going to be seen, and now MaxPax notices that this army is yeah, going to spot it. Well, he tried to pull it back and he thought, oh, Clem didn't see it, so he's going to bring it forward again. Now it gets taken down, so there goes a bit more of your splash damage. The single Viking does get taken out. There's one more Viking here. The Colossus in the pack is putting in some serious work. Stalkers protecting it with their lives. Anything to keep the one boy that does the splash damage, you know, up and running in this game as we move further forward. Our Bioforce still coming through. Zealot going down. The Stalker's still taking hits. The Colossus will go down to the dive this time. Now we can just kite back and trade against gateway units, which is typically a very good trade for any Terran player. Sentries are tanking a little bit, apparently. They will go down now. There's a few more Zealots, but as Clem's reinforcements show up, this really should just be plenty to close this game out, to take us to a game 3, tying us up 1-1 across the board. MaxPax is going to fight till the bitter end, but that is right now. GG's called, and Clem ties us in the top right-hand corner. Our blue Protoss player from Psy Storm Gaming. This is MaxPax. Bottom left, red Terran player from Team Liquid. We have got Clem. Solo 2-1 against Bjorn moves into the semi-finals against Hero or Ragnarok. That is on the top portion of the bracket. The winner of this moves into the semi-finals against either Wayne or Skillis. So we've got an all-Korean semi-final. We're going to have an all-European semi-final. Very fun. SCV comes moving across. Just going to be seeing our probe getting a nibble on said SCV. Gonna drop down the engineering bay to block up a little bit. As our probes will try and get this engineering bay killed off. Nibble at that for a few moments. SCV continues the way down to the bottom left-hand side. Orbital Command, Factory, both building up here as well. Get our Nexus and Cybercore on the way. It's going to be seeing the probe continue to chase that SCV for just a little bit, trying to find a couple of additional shots to finish off. Does not want to let that SCV back home. Getting bullied on your own front doorstep ain't exactly fun, but such is the life sometimes. It's the Marine, though! Oh, he does not like bullies. He takes down that probe and it gets knocked down with immediate effect. Nexus building, probe, adept, warp gate. All of that continues through. Continue to Chrono Boost the adept on the way out, and we do have our adept continue to move across down to the bottom left side of the map as well. A couple of Hellions coming through. The Stargate is building. The Nexus is on the way in. Barracks going to be setting up here. Just going to be seeing our Adept still coming through. Warp Gate coming in. Stargate getting going as well. So far, so good as our Phoenix will start up. And we have a couple of Adepts making their way to the upper right corner. Planes come out, just going to be seeing the couple of racks, the tech lab, all on the way in. So with these Hellions poking across some pressure, we're going to go 3 racks on the follow-up and see if we can really get this kind of switch into bioplay being very effective. The Hellions diving on by, going to make their way all the way up into this main base, where we're going to get rid of 4 probes so far. Looking for a couple extra towards the tail end of this here, 5 probes. And the Hellion lifted into the sky is going to get halted for a couple moments. Adepts. And the Phoenix able to get a bit more damage done. Hellion does get chased away. That Hellion is pushed over the left-hand side. Adept's going to catch it. Bang! And the Hellion is gone. MaxPax coming back out the front. Phoenix are still making their way across to the bottom left side of the map. So working our way over here as Stimpack, Combat Shield, a few additional Marines all being produced. Phoenix obviously will have some good scouting and some good cruise control through the base here. They will get a little couple of pickoffs. What I will say is that I do feel like MaxPax's composition can run into issues against what Clem is doing. There's stim and combat being done. This very scary bio count is going to be increasing. And as this bio count increases, Phoenix is picking off a Hellion there. As the bio count increases, it just doesn't feel like there's a lot to defend for MaxPax. There's 3 Adepts, 5 Phoenix. The Immortal will play a big role in defending, I imagine. As off and across the map we go. With our first round of units, obviously Phoenix could look to shut down some reinforcements before they pull home to defend. Actually try and grab some Marines on the tail end. He is pausing Clem to kind of turn around and chase a little bit. That does delay the push. More time to get towards the Colossus. Marines tank just going to back away. I think Clem realizing A, there's no third base, and B, he got a little bit delayed coming across the map, so that combo really means it's not much he can do. I think if you got across the map quickly enough, maybe you can take a jump on the first Immortal or so, but especially with kind of pulling back against the Phoenix a bunch and all these things that kind of happened, I think Clem's kind of right just to play it a bit more slowly and just to kind of say, yeah, no third base, there's not too much for me to jump on from afar here, so let's just be nice and safe in the early stages. Still in the center, our Marines tank. Continue to come around. It's going to continue to chase the Phoenix around up to the top, and you have our Twilight and Forge continuing to build it up for the moment. Our Nexus on the way. Like I said, our third finally coming in. And we're going to have the Colossus count to really protect that as well, I imagine. Resources lost. Very good for MaxPax, but I mean, is that not kind of what it's meant to be with Phoenix? Probably. Phoenix are that kind of unit that find a lot of resources lost, and what they then don't give in kind of, terms of straight up fights, they do give in a lot of other ways. Phoenix is going to dive the Marines. If you dive the Marines, there's nothing to put damage onto the Phoenix. There's going to be more value gained here for MaxPax. Gonna find a couple of Widow Mines spawning as well. I mean, it's so frustrating playing against these Phoenix that can just camp your base. That's exactly what we're seeing right now as our Phoenix is going to move back into the main. As a couple more SCVs will be going down. Again, it's just going to keep Clem at home. It's going to take down some of Clem's units. Just in general, everything about these Phoenix is slowing Clem down in a big way. Clem literally walks away from this bottom side, and the Phoenix is like, oh, just going to fly over here and get out now. It just looks funny. Clem is moving away as MaxPax is like, huh, let's try and escape. It's like, just escapes immediately. Yeah. Update on the bracket, by the way. Wayne 2-1 Skillless is now in the semi-finals. Wayne is having a run of it, man. He is not messing around today. Wayne popping off. Seed 15 in the semis. Oh, this is going to be seen on Widow Mine. And picked off here. Phoenix back around the left. And seeing our Temple Archives gates all coming up. Our Ghost Academy finishing in the natural. MaxPax is actually starting to feel comfortable to get onto the map. Clem does currently have good upgrades, and if he gets Ghosts out, do you feel as though, do you feel as though this army of MaxPax will be, kind of vulnerable, right? Good EMPs can just soften this up enough that you lose a lot of the initial kind of sturdiness of this, especially if you can EMP the Phoenix, and then they don't have lift energy as well. That could actually be a, always a big play. But yeah, especially with a couple Archons mixed in, a few MPs will go a massive way in this. That's what we are going to set up for here. As Clem has his first couple of Ghosts out and waiting. That's that turret and Viking combo. We'll get rid of the Prism, but the Zealots are already out. Clem was not immediately in the position he wanted to be because of this, and is now going to have to deal with this main fight. Fortunately for Clem, MaxPax is not moving the Zealots deeper into the main base to deal more damage, as MaxPax kind of just wanders forward. Doing a lot here to start out with. Just going to be seeing the rest of this bio. Pulling back a little bit. Vikings still up overhead. Going to chase in the end. Clem is going to push this away, and the Colossi are going to try and recall home. Well, they did get out, but Clem actually comes out in a pretty good spot. This looked scary for him, honestly, but I mean, his work account still ain't pretty, but if you can get across the map right now with this force and push, perhaps, then there might be some potential. What we did lose there for MaxPax was every single Phoenix, which means that without Blink, there's not an immediately kind of amazing defense against Vikings. And so if you're relying on the Colossi, they may actually just fall down quite quickly here. So that's something we can watch out for. As you see Zealots in the center, Widow Mines are going to blow up all those Zealots. They get taken down. Collector Zealots will get picked off. Marine still going back to the top. Storm is coming through. Marine will fall. That's Bio Force of Clem pushing up to the top side as well, as we see our Vikings, Ghosts, leading forward and just going to be having first EMP going down. Plus, I will not last long if the Vikings control like this. They're doing a very good job of just staying out of reach at the moment and just getting shots off where they're giving them. Obviously, it means the Colossi can't really get in range. Actually have lost a few more. I mean, honestly, the Vikings at first were being controlled brilliantly, but now not so much. The Zealot counterattack is slowed at 18 SCVs on the other side of the map here, and we do have another Disruptor shot that doesn't quite reach. Clem continues his back and forth in towards this army. Widow Mines will soften up some of the front lines of Zealots. Now he doesn't really have the Vikings to grab the Colossi. Now that means he's going to have much more difficulty kind of truly pushing into this position. He's getting a round of reinforcements here. Some fresh EMPs available goes a long way, especially just knocking down that forward Archon. Whoa. There's a couple of units split forward. I don't know if that was really necessary, as we will try to knock down this base, and we will get it in the end. Clem is going to have to face the wrath of another round of Zealots across the map, though, as MaxPax has realized that that is a massive weak point for Clem at the moment. Clem realizes this is a massive weak point for MaxPax with Zealots on the other side. It's not a super defensive army. The Disruptors are the best part, and they are zoning well, and that is going very well at the moment. In fact, as Clem still has to deal with these Zealots that are currently in the natural, on the third base, and just all over the shop. Clem's army supply is starting to dip down a lot now as well, as a couple more Widow Mines will be going through for some extra Zealot kills, but nothing too major Clem could really do. Clean up these Zealots, getting across the map and reinforcing his army supply is truly bleeding out. MaxPax has just had the better of Clem recently, and today is going to be absolutely no different. MaxPax 2-1 into the semi-finals. Our last Terran of the day is eliminated. And